Thank you. Lori Lerner?
Thank you for hearing me today. My name is 11LoriLerner. I'm a resident of Bridgewater, New Hampshire. I'd like for you to please support this bill, Senate Bill 281, particularly the amendment. It will go a long way to the communities, many of the residents and community members in the Newfound area and beyond. The SEC really does need the guidance, and this bill will provide them with more comprehensive rules and a level of certainty to both the residents and the wind developers. The current statute, RSA 162-H, is outdated and ambiguous. We, the residents of New Hampshire, need certainty. Our communities will not be overtaken by industrial wind turbines. Wind developers need clear rules and guidance to define where industrial wind turbines will be allowed and where they are unacceptable. During these legislative hearings, we frequently hear the wind lobbyists state the changes will result in a chilling effect to the business community. I have yet to hear a business that has decided not to open within the state due to a concern over the changing SEC guidelines. Much to the contrary, in our area we're faced with a chilling effect on real estate sales due to the already operational wind project Groton Wind, along with a multitude of additional wind projects being considered. There have been transaction-based studies conducted by the wind industry which identify no impact to real estate values in proximity to wind turbines. This is mainly due to the fact that the properties are completely unsaleable. Nobody wants to buy them except at a very deep discount. Take a look at homes for sale in areas with a direct view of industrial wind turbines and you will see firsthand. Properties tend to stay on the market for long periods of time with an eventual sale for a significantly reduced price, or the owner can't afford to sell the property at such a loss and takes it off the market. I would like to share a few emails I have received recently that highlight the situation. The first email is from Richard Dale Massaros. He is looking to purchase a property in Rumney. He wrote, I wanted to share an experience I had over the last couple of weeks. I'm for wind energy, but do struggle with it being placed in scenic areas and how it can affect neighboring real estate, etc. This story pertains to real estate, and I'm sure it's a common one. My partner and I were speaking with an owner of a home on 5 acres on Hallsbrook Road in Rumney, a quarter-mile up the road just below several wind towers. We were planning on buying the property as an investment. The first day I met with the homeowner myself, it was a calm day and the turbines were hardly turning. But he did mention how sometimes they can sound like a jet flying overhead. I didn't pay too much attention to this. We agreed upon a price and were planning on proceeding with the acquisition, having not yet signed an agreement. A few days later, my partner and I went up there so we could see the place together. It was pretty windy. The turbines were spinning at a pretty good clip and were astonished at how loud the blades were. It did sound like a commercial jet flying us overhead, in a pulsating manner too. That did it for us. No way we were going to risk buying a place in that situation. Our concern, of course, was that we would struggle to find tenants, and even worse, wouldn't be able to get a buyer if we decided to resell at some point. As investors, we have to weigh up negatives versus positive factors and compare one opportunity against another. So this was an unquestionable pass for us. The presence of the turbines made the location just too risky. We hear all the time about how wind farms can affect real estate values, saleability, and this is a live example of a sale falling apart as a direct result of towers being in close proximity to a property. I hope this will assist in any efforts to prevent another wind farm from going ahead in this area. Thanks for listening, Richard Dale Massaros. Letter number 2. This I had received back in January 19th, 2014. Dear Ms. Lerner, my good friends Hank and Janet Woolner suggested that I contact you concerning a subject of considerable concern. I am a former resident of Bristol and a former state representative. Since moving to Texas 15 years ago, I have visited New Hampshire, God's country as I call it, on an annual basis, and for the last 3 years I have rented from Phelps Boys Condo at Whittemore Shores for the month of September. My wife Gail and I have enjoyed the visit so much that we are seriously thinking of purchasing property thereabouts and becoming warm weather snowbirds. However, unless we can be assured that the proposed wind farm will not be built We will not consider any properties where those monstrous contraptions desecrate the views. Therefore, I ask that you put me on your email list so I may be kept abreast of developments. Please feel free to use my thoughts expressed herein in testimony before legislature or any other public meeting concerning this issue. Respectfully, John Root, San Antonio, Texas. The third letter came to me very recently. It started out going to the Board of Selectmen in Hebron, the Historic Heritage Zoning and Planning Boards. And that was, again, February 17th. Hello. My husband and I are considering looking at property in Hebron. We currently live in Mass on Cape Cod. I'm writing to find out where the various boards stand on the siting wind turbines in Hebron. We spent some time around Newfound this fall, and though we fell in love with Hebron, we saw a number of signs against which tells us there's a problem taking place there. I completely agree that wind turbines not only deter from breathtaking vistas, but from the property values as well as causing health problems from infrasound and flicker. We are battling a 3.5-year case in court still in my town. The town has expended countless tax dollars in this legal battle, well over $25,000 as of last fall. I do not want to consider a move to a town that want to have this question, this battle, this problem, this eyesore as part of its legacy. I have copied the Hebron Historic District. As in our town, the Historic District Committee is in the forefront of our fight against the wind turbine being placed. I appreciate your candor on this matter as I've seen what the siting of wind turbines can do to a town. It divides and separates the residents. It is not good. We live in a beautiful town in the Old Kings Highway Historic District within a walk to the village and the bay. But this turbine problem has taken its toll on us. However, we chose not to be involved in it again and will base our decision on choosing Hebron partly on your response. I do hope to hear from the various boards. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Judith Pennington Watts, Dennis, Mass. And from there, the Hebron board suggests they contact New Hampshire Wind Watch. As a result, I did receive an email stating, I am a resident of Dennis, Cape Cod. Among 93 residents, we are in a 3+ year court case to keep an industrial wind turbine. Again, this is a single turbine out of our Old Kings Highway Historic District, which would be located on a spit on Cape Cod Bay. We started our own local group called Save Our Beaches with some residents of the neighboring town, and we're also members of Windwise Cape Cod. We have considered just moving from Cape Cod as there is a plan to put up 300 turbines, Cape Wind Project, on Nantucket Sound, which you have likely heard about. We have looked at Hebron, New Hampshire, and for the quiet, idyllic town it appears to be, and saw that there are apparently plans in the works for many turbines installed in that area. I contacted the Selectman's office in Hebron and was told there was a vote coming up regarding 2 warrants regarding turbine installations. Can you keep me informed as to the outcome of the vote? I told the Selectman's executive secretary that we would not move to a town with this battle in flux. We have 3.5 years in a court battle and are looking at 2 more, which will eventually take it to the state Supreme Court. Thank you for any information New Hampshire Windwise is able to make available to me regarding this issue of the Hebron region. As closing, if the state of New Hampshire had adopted the guidelines back in 2007 that were put forth when they were drafted, we would not be in the predicament now where the wind developers are proposing these projects in improperly sited locations. This has and will continue to result in irreversible harm to the residents, wildlife, and economy. Please support Senate Bill 281's amendment, and as well as the section about the property value guarantee. In regards to that, there is a state, Illinois has a property value guarantee in place, and there are also in a lot of states, towns do have home rule, and we're seeing more and more towns adopting property value guarantees. So they are becoming more available to us, so we do have some guidelines to base ours on. So again, I do want to have you recognize there is clearly a problem with property values around these wind turbines. And we do need to address that issue before we get any further down the road.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions of the committee?
Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you for coming before our committee this morning.